What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Hit or Miss Aquariums, and today we're answering the question, where do I start with this saltwater hobby? So here on this channel we talk about DIY, basic reef keeping, coral growing, and everything you need to get your feet wet in this saltwater hobby. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing. Alright guys, so here it is. The best place to start, in my opinion, the Biocube 32, or really any all-in-one. Because the reason why it's called an all-in-one is there's no sump, which means that there's no water underneath or behind or off to the side. All the water for this entire aquarium is housed within the walls of this aquarium, which is great. It's super convenient. It really lets you practice more on husbandry as opposed to trying to figure out what next new thing you need. So we're going to talk about what you need to really get your first saltwater aquarium off the ground. You can see here I have live rock. There are some corals in there. There are some fish swimming around in there, and there's sand. So obviously if you're going to start your first aquarium, you usually want to start it with sand and with live rock. I'll put some links in the description as well as everything else that I talk about below. Alright, so let's talk about what comes with the Biocube. You get the tank. You can get the stand. You can buy it as a kit if you want, but with the tank you get lights that come with it that you can program. We'll get into that in another video, the best way to program those. In the back chamber, you do get a return pump. You get a media rack. There's 3 chambers in the back. One is where the water comes in. It goes over the top of the to the second chamber and then goes underneath to the third chamber. That's really all you get. I think you also get a small, polycarbonate pad or something for in between the second and the third chamber. But you're going to need a little bit more than that. You're obviously going to need a heater to keep your fish warm. Do you really need a power head for a Biocube? You really don't. I mean, it's you can get into the specifics of, oh yeah, you have to have this or you have to have that, but in the grand scheme of things, that pump is going to push enough water to do what you need it to. Now, it's a luxury to have a power head, and I have one. I have something that we'll talk about in another video that I like a lot, and it does a great job moving water around and keeping my rock clean. But it's not a necessity. So we're talking about bare bones and necessities today. I would highly recommend getting one of these. This is a specific Biocube scrubber, and the reason why this is so nice is because it has a little bit of a lip on it to where you can get the corners of this, because these corners aren't at a 90-degree angle. They're kind of round, so it's not always easy to get in there with a regular algae scrubber. Saltwater aquariums are much different than freshwater aquariums. Most people that come into the saltwater hobby have already had a freshwater aquarium. They're not used to using reverse osmosis deionization water, which stands for RODI water. So you can get a something called a RO Buddy on Amazon. I'll put the links for all this stuff in the description below, but it's just something that hooks up directly to your water line, and what it does is it filters out all the dissolved solids that are in your water, such as chlorine, chloramines. If that is in your city water, you may need something a little bit stronger or an additional filter to take those out. But you can't just dump tap water in here and mix it with salt. You do need a specific type of salt. When I first started, I thought maybe I could just use Morton's or something like that. That is not the case. You need they make salt for saltwater aquariums, and you need to mix that with good RODI water. An option, if you don't want to get the RODI bundle or the RO Buddy bundle, is you can go to your local grocery store and get these guys. These are just 5-gallon buckets of distilled water. You can pick those up, and that's what you can mix it with. It's not very cost effective, but it will get your aquarium off the ground until you get to the point where you can invest in a RO Buddy or RODI filtration. Now, I will tell you, don't use tap water because it will cause you a lot of issues down the road. One last thing you're going to need is some type of test kit. Now, there are more specific and nicer test kits that I will probably recommend after you've been in the hobby for a little while and are really starting to fine-tune certain parameters. However, in the beginning, I used API test kits. They're the most affordable, and they really just help you get through the nitrogen cycle. All right, guys, so let's talk about the numbers. So if you want the Biocube, the tank only, maybe you're gonna build your own tank, maybe you have something you want to put it on anyway, please check the weight requirements because it's not exactly light with all that water and rock and sand in there. You want something strong enough to support it. If you're going to do that, the Biocube, the Aqueon heater, 100 watt, the Biocube magnet, the API test kit, the RO Buddy, the Carob C, my Hawaiian black sand that you see in the video behind you is in the link below. Everything is in the link below, so please check it out, guys. And the BRS Reef Saver rock. Now, there's a lot of debate about what type of rock you should use. I just put one in there as a placeholder, so choose however you want, do your research appropriately. So all that together comes to $536.37. Probably going to be some shipping in there if you're a Prime member through Amazon. There's not going to be on some of these items, so take that into consideration as well. Now, if you wanted the stand and you didn't want to use your own stand, or you have a spot for it, it's going to cost more. It's going to cost $698.69. However, you're going to get a setup like the one that I have behind me. Obviously, the power head that's in there is not on this list. We'll go into that in another video, so please stay tuned. However, and of course the fish and the corals aren't in there either, but that will get your tank cycled and get you to a spot where you can start planning out your fish and really kind of propel you into where you need to go for your first saltwater journey. So I hope this has been helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.